Between the Dniester River and the Ukrainian border lies a remnant of the Cold War, the Cobasna ammunition depot. This facility holds 20,000 tons of aging Soviet explosives, a massive cache of artillery shells and tank rounds that has effectively functioned as a ticking time bomb in Eastern Europe for decades. Since 1992, the Russian Federation has used the separatist region of Transnistria as a frozen conflict to maintain a strategic foothold inside Moldova. To guard the depot and influence local politics, Moscow has kept 1,500 soldiers stationed here, acting as an elite forward-deployed unit deep within the European continent. This military presence served a single purpose. It provided the Kremlin with the leverage needed to block Moldova's integration with the West. That leverage collapsed on April 8, 2026. In a sudden move, Moldova officially began its withdrawal from the Commonwealth of Independent States. When President Maia Sandu signed the law, she stripped the Russian forces of their long-standing diplomatic cover, effectively ending the era of cooperation with Moscow. This signature instantly changed the legal status of the Russian troops. Without an international agreement to stay, they became an illegal occupying force under international law. Logistically, these troops are now stranded. With Moldovan airspace closed and the neighboring war in Ukraine blocking all land routes, Moscow can no longer send new personnel, fuel, or spare parts. The 1,500 soldiers originally deployed to project power are now isolated, cut off from their own supply lines, and abandoned behind a locked border. The central government in Chisinau quickly moved to enforce this new reality on the ground. They executed what amounted to a diplomatic decapitation, declaring the entire command echelon of the Russian forces persona non grata. At the border, Moldovan guards locked down the checkpoints, physically blocking Russian officers from entering or exiting the territory. The soldiers remaining inside are largely local residents who were issued Russian passports, men who have now been discarded by a Kremlin that can no longer reach them. By combining legal maneuvers with a strict border lockdown, Moldova severed Moscow's chain of command without needing to fire a single shot. Usually, Moscow would retaliate by cutting off natural gas to freeze a neighbor into submission. So why hasn't that worked here? Moldova prepared for this. They neutralized Russia's energy weapon by fully integrating their national infrastructure into the European energy grid. Transnistria, however, is now in the dark. With Ukraine cutting off the flow of free Russian gas, the separatist region's economy is rapidly dissolving. Chisinau is now pursuing European Union integration for the territory it controls, effectively leaving the Transnistria problem behind in a two-stage accession plan. This strategy allows the government to absorb billions in European modernization funds, while the illegal Russian enclave remains economically and politically stagnant. This maneuver successfully bypassed Russia's long-standing strategy of using internal conflicts to halt a nation's progress toward the West. Now, an even more significant shift is on the table, the potential for a historic unification between Moldova and Romania. If these nations unite, the Prut River border dissolves, merging their lands. Because Romania is a NATO member, all Moldovan territory would immediately fall under the NATO umbrella, instantly surrounding the Russian pocket in Transnistria with alliance territory. Such a move would redraw the map of Europe and dismantle the regional influence Russia has cultivated for centuries. In this scenario, the 1,500 Russian soldiers currently trapped in Transnistria would find themselves waking up inside NATO borders, facing the alliance's modern military capabilities. Old Soviet patrols would be replaced by F-16s and Patriot air defense systems, locking down the region with modern technology. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has reacted to this possibility with public concern, but Moscow lacks the military logistics to stop it. Putin attempted to use a decaying frozen conflict to keep Eastern Europe in a chokehold. Instead, Moldova's series of legal and logistical moves has dismantled that leverage from the inside out.